Now, tomorrow the snow begins sometime in the evening for most of us. So if you want to wait until, tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon before the snow gets here to go out and make your preparations, you can do that. But the wind chill is going to be 0 to -5 already by sunrise, and should be that cold really all day long tomorrow. So another aspect of this is I don't expect to see a whole bunch of school cancellations, that kind of thing tomorrow, because while it will be cold, we're not expecting to see snow or ice ongoing during the school day. So the buses should be able to get home before the roads start to become problematic. Now, if you have a Friday night high school basketball game to attend or any Friday night plans, make sure to check in to see if those get postponed or canceled or whatever it might be, because it's a real possibility. Once the snow starts coming down, it will all stick with temperatures this cold. We're not going to see any melting on contact, none of that. And also the road crews, many of the different solutions they use, the different saline solutions and whatever, they don't work real well when the temperature is down in the single digits or colder. So it will be very hard for road crews to get this cleared. So if you have stuff you need to pick up, whatever it might be, this evening is the time to do it. So checking out the Prairie Band Casino and Resort live storm tracker, this evening is chilly, no doubt, but it's not dangerous weather conditions. I say not dangerous. You can't always trust the other drivers or bad luck or whatever it might be, but the weather cooperates just fine for anything you need to do this evening. As we zoom way out on the radar, what you'll see is our storm has not really materialized yet at all. It's coming. If we were to roll this 24 hours in the future, you can be sure there'll be heavy snow in parts of central Kansas coming our way, and it'd be really obvious 24 hours from now. But right now this thing is not materializing just yet with precipitation, but the jet stream level and the surface, all the ingredients are coming together to create a significant problem in our area. So here's what we have. These are snowfall probabilities. The National Weather Service provided us with these maps today. You don't see this very often. This is rare. 6 inches of snow or more. This is a probability map, and they're saying that 64% chance in Topeka of seeing at least half a foot of snow. So greater than 50-50 odds of seeing a deep snow like that. Holton is 57%. Over here is the 4-inch probability map. It's very high numbers. And then on the other side here, we've got an 8-inch probability map, and it's not quite as big, but a 43% chance of 8 inches of snow or more. That's not a small deal. That's a big thing. Now, the complication of this, one of the complications of this is that this is not going to come down as all dendrites, the friendly shaped snowflakes you see on Christmas cards and that kind of thing. This is going to come down as ice needles and hollow columns and that kind of thing. The reason being that with temperatures this cold, you just tend to get different shaped snow crystals. So that's something you'll notice tomorrow. The reason that's a complication for forecasting is dendrites pile up at a different rate than things like ice needles and hollow columns and all these other things that can form. So we'll see how efficiently it creates depth, but we will see everything covered in snow almost surely. If you haven't already, I strongly encourage you to download the WIBW weather app. This storm, you're probably pretty aware of at this point, but I want to make sure that you have the app downloaded and you're ready. As we get into tornado season, which really begins not that long from now, really in March, we've really got to start paying attention to about everything. So just make sure you have it. More than 70,000 people a month are using the WIBW weather app. It's a great way for us to get a message out to you, no matter if you're home or on the road or at work or wherever you might be, and let you know if there's something that is important. A lot of times it's a warm day or whatever, but if it's dangerous, I want to make sure that you can see that, and we can let you know what's going on. All right, tomorrow morning at the bus stop, make sure the kids are dressed something like this. Now, I drive my kiddos to school in the morning, so they'll be dressed warmly, but they're not going to be at the bus stop. If your kids have to be at the bus stop for any length of time, they're going to be out there in 0 to -10 wind chill. It's not going to be snowing in the morning, so don't expect to see a bunch of school closings or cancellations. Maybe somebody will, I don't know. But the morning is dry. By the time we get to about 4 p.m., there could be light snow in Concordia and Manhattan, maybe Clay Center. This is light. This shouldn't be accumulating just yet, but it'll start to get close to as we get later in the evening. Now the snow does start to pile up. And if you have a high school basketball game, please keep in mind that we'll have snow covering most of the roads in the area by 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock on Friday evening tomorrow. And these temperatures ranging from 5 to maybe 10 degrees above zero, and the wind chill 10 to 15 below zero. This snow is likely to continue to pile up, could be a couple of inches by midnight on Friday night. During the early morning hours of Saturday, computer models showing maybe a break for a couple of hours in the snow, then it fills back in during the afternoon and becomes heavy again. So there could be a brief break in the snow Saturday morning into early Saturday afternoon before another burst of energy comes in. And the strongest burst of this really is the Saturday night into early Sunday morning. So there's 5 p.m. Saturday, snow scattered across the area, temperatures ranging from about 4 to about 6 degrees, and the wind chill 10 to 15 below zero. Sunday morning, 1 a.m., the snow may start to taper off across the area, but it still could actually last until 6 or 7 a.m. on Sunday. Either way, it's a widespread snow accumulation. This is tomorrow evening, 10 p.m., supercast showing about an inch or less of snow accumulation at that point. So if you're at a basketball game again, it's not a bunch of snow out there, but it all is going to stick. And it's going to be hard to clear off roadways because it's still falling and the temperature is just so cold. Now there's 3 a.m. Saturday. This is an inch or two of snow already. As we get into a Saturday afternoon, now we've got a widespread 2 to 4 with this 4 to 8 for Council Grove to Burlington. And then Saturday night into Sunday morning, we continue to pile onto this as this is where we start to max out the numbers, somewhere in that 4 to 8 inch category for a lot of spots. Now the computer models, if you just look at the raw computer model data, they're showing bigger numbers than this. It's double digits all over the place. So if you see some of those images on social media or whatever, just don't count on that. It is super rare for us to see a double-digit snowfall total here in northeast Kansas. It just doesn't happen very often. So if you see some wild numbers like that, we will see accumulation. We will see extremely cold air. If you see somebody spitting out, 14, 15-inch snowfall totals, then, that's very unlikely up here. Southeast Kansas, Oklahoma, parts of Arkansas, even south central and southeast Missouri may go at 14, 15-inch value, but like Topeka, I just don't see that as a possibility, not right now at least. Now, if you do have pets, make sure that you protect them. If you have pets that have to be outside, unless it's a penguin, of course, and in at Antarctica, it's summer, so penguins are fine. But if you have a dog or a cat or whatever it might be, if they have to be out, make sure that they're sheltered appropriately. Give them shelter to keep them out of the wind and the cold. Blankets are great, but if the blanket gets wet, it's icy, it's not going to help them at all. Straw can help. It doesn't hold water, so it can protect them a bit, keep them warmer. Access to unfrozen water. With a temperature close to zero for so long, the water's going to freeze over and over again, so make sure you're getting out there and giving Fido a fresh bowl of water pretty frequently. You can increase their meal size, give them more calories. Their body can keep warm better. Bring them inside if possible. If you only bring the pets in a couple times a year, this is that time. I might say that to you twice a year at most. It doesn't happen very often. But if your dog or cat is an outside animal, this is dangerously cold and certainly can harm them. So if you can bring them in, certainly do so. All right, so the winter storm warning, this is official from the National Weather Service. Everything that's shaded in this pink is a winter storm warning that goes from tomorrow evening all the way through Saturday night. Weather Service just with a blanket statement of 4 to 8 inches of snow, 15 to 20 below zero for the wind chill, and this could change. They may up that range, they may drop the range, they could move some counties around, but for right now, counties along the Nebraska state line, that's 2 to 4 inches of snow and a winter weather advisory. Everybody else is in the same blanket statement of a 4 to 8. Now, if you have friends or family down south, or if you have to travel down south, this is a disaster in the making, and you can be sure that whatever happens up here, any national news is going to quickly forget we exist, because down around Oklahoma City, this is a projection of 18 inches of snow. That's a real possibility. Tulsa, Oklahoma City could be in that kind of range. Springfield, Missouri, Branson, that's a foot of snow. The purple is at least a foot. This lighter purple there is a 18 inch. Down here, this pink is an inch or more of ice glaze. Now it can be sleet pellets as well. So if the atmosphere is cold enough, deep enough that the raindrops can freeze into a little ice cube on the way down, then it hits as an ice ball and we call it sleet. if the layer of freezing air is shallow enough that the raindrop can make it all the way to the ground before it freezes, then it becomes that ice glaze that's just terrible. Those ice glaze conditions are what you see that pull down a lot of power lines and tree branches and that kind of thing. So if this plays out as an ice glaze, which in some areas it will, that's where you're going to see widespread power outages for some spots. You could see people without power for several days or even several weeks. It's the kind of thing where you start seeing power crews from different parts of the country that are driving through. You may see a power crew from Minnesota that happens to be, in town for a minute at the hotel or whatever, staying the night, because they're en route to the disaster that's projected. This is going to happen. Some areas will get sleet. Some areas will get just terrible freezing rain. It's not just there. There's also a batch, and I only put on the 1 inch or more freezing rain. There's areas that are ½ inch and less, but I just circled off the computer models indicating at least 1 inch of freezing rain and at least a foot of snow, which is this stretch all the way from New England through southeast Missouri. My mom's in Dexter, so I've been talking to her a lot. Hey, Mom, get ready. She's not going to come out of the house for a few days, obviously. Down here through central Oklahoma, that's going to be a disaster as well. So we're calling this a first alert day tomorrow for the extreme wind chill that will last all day. The snow comes in tomorrow, most likely after 7 o'clock in Topeka, could be close to 3 or 4 p.m. around Concordia, but as the night goes on Friday, conditions will worsen. On Saturday, there'll be periods of snow on and off, maybe a break in the morning to early afternoon, but then heavier snow settles in on Saturday evening into Saturday night. The snow should wrap up on Sunday morning by 6 or 7 a.m. for most of us, and it looks to be a fairly widespread batch of 4 to 8 inches of snow. Again, some spots may go a little higher than that. It's going to be complicated forecasting how much snow falls. It's always hard to forecast how much snow is going to fall. But in this case, because it's so cold, the structure of the snowflakes, are they ice needles? Are they dendrites? Are they these hollow columns? Are they plates? There's all kinds of different shapes, and they all pile up at different rates. So whatever it is, it's almost surely at least 4 inches of snow. Let's say it's low end. We'll go low end. Everybody gets 4 inches of snow and that's it. And we all get a wind chill of 10 to 20 below zero. That's terrible. So that's what I would consider the best case scenario is a 4 inch snow and wind chill values of 10 or 20 below zero. Worst case, it's something like 8 or 10 inches of snow and still with those horrible wind chill values. All right, I'll have another update right here at 8:30 in the same format, and I'll be on 13 News at 10 with an update with the fresh models that let you know what's going on then. Be cautious in the storm, and again, you do have plenty of time this evening as the weather is cooperating this evening to make any preparations you need to before the storm. And I'm telling my kids, make sure the homework is ready because they're going to school tomorrow.